Good morning, Tiago Sensei. Thanks for your opportunity to give us the chance to reflect on the mental aspect of our karate training. And let's get started then with the first question about the difference between karate do and karate jutsu. Why is there nowadays so much more emphasis on the technical aspect, the jutsu, in modern karate, and how can we build our own life path to go beyond karate jutsu and stay on the path of karate do?
I believe it has to do with the instant gratification culture we currently live in. The fact that people search for fast results in everything. They want quick rewards for their efforts. And this is not very compatible with the do aspect of karate, which requires constant and perpetual dedication. The jutsu or technical part, however, can be practiced anyway and can bring a feeling of accomplishment when one learns something, or a feeling of release from stress after a hard working day, or even a feeling of adrenaline from the workout involved in the training. These are much more compatible with the current cultural habits.
Let's go with the concept of karate ni sentenashi, as told by our sensei, Funakoshi sensei. Why there is no first attack in karate, and how do we need to take into account in our daily practice and or training?
In my way of looking at this, I see some misinterpretation of the saying from Funakoshi sensei. I interpret karate ni sentenashi as no first initiative or no starting a fight. That doesn't mean you cannot throw the first punch. If someone takes an aggressive stand against you or becomes even verbally abusive to the point that you fear for your safety, I feel you should definitely protect yourself, and that might mean you need to strike before getting struck. When training, you should learn both sides, the tori and the uke, the one who initiates and the one who receives. Only by knowing how to attack can you learn how to defend yourself against it. In my view, that's the ultimate goal of karate-do. You learn everything about a fight, so you may never need to fight.
Let's go over the concept of karate as a martial art. Is there a balance in the karate that we practice between the martial aspect and the art aspect? How do we combine them? How can it be learned and practiced, or is it already self-evident in a way?
I would say one should approach the training session with a martial spirit, meaning to fight and expand your limits with the utmost discipline. And the artistic value of karate lies in the technical profession we aim to achieve, the form behind the lethal force, the beauty behind the strength. The spirit with which a student practices comes a lot from within, from his own will for self-improvement. And I personally feel that a good teacher can motivate and guide a student to find this art, but ultimately it has to be his own creation. Replication is not art. Your karate must be your own and not a complete copy of mine.
Let's go to the concept of karate as an Olympic sport. What would be the main difference between the karate in the origins and the karate practiced as an Olympic activity? Is it a threat for karate or an opportunity for development? What is one advantage and one disadvantage of karate being now promoted into the Olympic?
Opportunity. Opportunity to show a little of what makes karate so wonderful. A very limited opportunity, but still an opportunity. The biggest advantage can be also the biggest disadvantage, which is the exposure. It all depends on how we are able to organize the event and what we show there. When all eyes are on us, what will we tell the world that karate is? I think it's extremely difficult to find a set of rules for our sparring matches that is still acceptable as a sport and as true karate. If karate is supposed to be lethal, and yet we take away 90% of the techniques from the fight, we must be careful with what is left and make sure that the viewers understand they are only witnessing a very small percentage of what karate is.
Let's have a look at the karate origin, and can we understand from that perspective the next step in the karate evolution? How much has it changed since it was first imported from Okinawa to Japan and then from Japan spread worldwide? Where are we headed to now?
People have this image of karate as an ancient art passed down through endless generations. This is a little bit of an illusion. The art we practice today was basically developed 100 years ago. Don't get me wrong, the origins of karate as a fighting discipline can be traced back some 3,000 years to India, but as a martial art that it is today, it's only the result of a century after Gishin Funakoshi's life work of compiling and nationalizing the fighting styles which made their way to Okinawa. What he did was mainly creating an artistic movement where the art of fighting would also be used as the art of bettering yourself. And this was perfect for the overall Japanese way of living. I give Funakoshi Sensei the credit of being a great spokesperson and an amazing academic of the martial arts. Now, just as any other artistic movement, what happens when it gets exposed to a new culture is the process of adaptation to that culture. And if you think about how fast karate spread in the world, when a second wave of great instructors were sent to spread the word in the 50s and 60s, you can also imagine how little time they spent teaching in each country and how many holes their students had to fill in for themselves, therefore completely changing some of the techniques and ideals simply due to lack of a better understanding. It's like having a glass of orange juice and pouring the contents into 10 other glasses and then filling the rest of the glasses with water. At the end, do you still get orange juice? How much of it is pure juice and how much of it is just bland content? I would say that we've been able to bring a lot of the content back to karate through a process of professionalization of this sport of today, but it's certainly not the same content poured into that first glass. It's something different, evolved, something that makes sense for us today and wouldn't make sense back when karate was developed.
Thanks a lot for your explanation, Tiago Sensei. That was a very deep insight on the mental aspect of our karate training. So we will try to internalize, keep it in mind, and talk to you on the next episode.
See you then.